and welcome back to another exciting episode of Nessa Tries Boxycharm for the month of September. Is that the month we're in? I always forget. I sit down knowing what month it is and then I just blank as soon as I'm talking. Anyway, so today is a Boxycharm unboxing. As you guys know, I love doing these videos for you guys. They are so much fun. You get such a variety of makeup inside the box for just $21 a month. Let's go ahead and dive into this month's box. I have prepped my face in preparation for this. I knew exactly what I was going to be doing today, so that's why I look a little bit incomplete in a way, because I just have face products on and some lips. I also really enjoy the style I did accidentally last month with my Ipsy Glam Bag Plus unboxing. I showed you guys all the products first and then I just dove into using all the products, and I think that was a little bit more of a fun way to do it, just to be able to see everything first and then test it out all in a row without having to pause and see what's next. So I think that's the way I'm gonna do it with this month's Boxycharm, and we'll just dive into all the products first. Let's do it. This month's theme is all access. So I'm guessing you get a behind the scenes look is their take on this, I'm assuming. And it looks like we're getting 5 products inside this month's box. First item I have is the Dr. Brandt Biotic Recovery Sleeping Mask. It has a retail value of $52. Wow, that is quite pricey, but Dr. Brandt usually does have some higher price tags. It's a hydrating overnight mask that's supposed to lock in moisture and reduce redness and soothe the signs of irritation. I mean, it sounds pretty good. I do have some redness to my face, slight irritation. I actually did test this one out ahead of time since it's an overnight sleeping mask. I got my box yesterday, I tried it on last night. So I'll just really quickly mention this. I know I said I would talk about everything afterwards, but I did enjoy this. I didn't see any instantaneous results. I mean, with masks, you do have to keep using them continuously to see those kinds of results. But it felt nice and it wasn't sticky as an overnight mask. It went on just like a moisturizer. And I'll show you guys, it comes out just like this. It has a bit of a mint tint to it, but it rubs out clear into the skin. So first impressions of this guy was good. I'll definitely keep using it and see how that goes. Okay, rest of the stuff I haven't tried on beforehand, so we're just gonna quickly mention what they are. Second item in the box is a Moda 5-piece brush set. Ooh, I actually really enjoy Moda brushes, so I'm excited to test these out. Oh, and I like the design of these. There's some sleek black brushes with the handles being a matte black that have a bit of a texture to it. Quite nice. I hope I could catch that texture on camera. Oh yeah, there we go. You guys can see it there. But it comes with 5 eye brushes. The first brush being the shade brush, the BMX 466. This is for all over the lid color. The second brush is the Crease BMX 430. This is to define and blend. So it's a fluffy blending brush. Then we have the Detail BMX 420. This is the pointed tip brush. And this is a good brush for detail work, such as highlighting or smudging out colors. You know, my personal preferences for these types of brushes. The fourth brush is the Smudge BMX 402. And this one's meant for smudging out and smoking out a color. I personally like to use both the detail and the smudger for those purposes, but personal preference, however you like to use brushes. And lastly, we got the Line BMX 498. So this is to create a wing liner, or you could even use it for your brows. It's a little bit too thick for my brows, seeing as I barely have any hairs on my face. So for me, this is slightly too large. I would personally use this brush for just liner, but those are the 5 brushes. And it's kind of funny, every time I see these crazy names for brushes, I always think of this meme that was, I had to look it up because I was gonna get it wrong. It's girls talk about makeup like it's a beep weapon. What eyeshadow is that? Oh, it's the MAC 34X Z10 Pro Supreme Blend 10 points to Gryffindor. Oh gosh, that always gets me because this had some crazy names for the brushes, so. Oh gosh, makes me laugh every time I see something like that. Okay, but this 5-piece brush set is $27.95. So honestly not a bad value. I really love the price of Moda brushes. They're very affordable and have really good quality. I have quite a few that I use. So I'm excited to try those out, and they look really sleek. And then lastly, the big ticket item inside the box is the Tarte Clay Play Face Shaping Palette. This really is a large ticket item, and it has a retail value of $45. Ooh, there goes the sheet. And here is what the palette looks like, and you get a really large sized mirror inside of it as well. There are 12 shades inside, all are matte, and actually each... Whoa, no! I just scraped my nail inside the eyeshadow. Horrific. That's sad. Oh, it smells like chocolate though. Oh, has a really delicious scent. I'm trying to fix it. Whoops. Okay, what I was trying to say before I dug my fingernail into this palette is it looks like they have it sectioned off for you to create 3 different types of looks. So, kind of cool that they have it sectioned off like that. It actually reminds me of a Kat Von D palette I own, the Shade and Light eye contour one. That one's super old, but it reminds me of this. But that was actually the last item inside of this month's box. So that means we are ready to dive into the application portion, which I am very excited about. I feel like I look very unfinished here. So let me scooch you a little bit closer and let's start using these items and see what I think. I'm thinking the first item I want to dip into is the $1 Billion Brows Microblade Effect Pen. The one with a crazy tip. Because my brows are ready and waiting. I'm wondering if this is actually gonna be easy to use. Ooh, I went a little bit wonky there. Just trying to use some upward motions. I don't know. Okay, I think I need to stop messing with the brows right now. I feel like they're at a place where I just need to stop touching with them, or else it's gonna go sideways. I am torn about this product. I kind of like it, but I kind of also don't. There's some definite pros and cons with it. The pro is I do like the tip of this pen. It is really nice for filling in this front part of the brow, creating some natural hair strokes if you have it very thin. However, when you get into filling in the rest of the brow, I feel like it looks a little bit wonky, and I'm having some issues with the product getting a little bit crumbly in here, and I will have to check if that's because I had foundation underneath or if that's just how the product is. It is happening on both sides where it just looks a bit clumpy. Like I dried out mascara that's leaving those clumps all over. That's what it reminds me of. And the product is so thin and kind of delicate, trying to get a structural shape to the brows if you don't really have one. It feels a little bit difficult, especially out here in the tail end. I do think it leaves it looking very natural, so if you like a very natural brow and you don't have to do a lot of work to it and you just want to go through it once very quickly, add a bit of color, I think that could be nice, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Not entirely thrilled with how my brows look. Just being 100% honest with you guys. I like the front of the brow. That's about it. Alright, let's move on to something else. Let's go over to the eyeshadow palette now. And I'm thinking with this palette, I'm just gonna have some fun with it. I'm gonna venture into all 3 sections and just dip around, see what we create. So, I'm gonna get started with the shade over here called Solstice. 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 Why can I not say that right now? I've said it before. Solstice. Today's one of those days. Oh man, that is very powdery. Make sure you tap that off. And I'm just gonna start packing that all over the lid just to give us some base color. I did already have my eyeshadow primer on, but it's been sitting there for a minute, so I might as well just add a layer on top. I'm using the Moda shade brush to apply it. I originally wasn't gonna do swatches of it, but looking at this palette, there's just so many brown tones in here. I think I need to swatch it out and just to see them all laid out for me. So let me do that really quickly. I'm gonna swatch them out by section, so I'm gonna go from one section to the other, like that. Okay, so here's a quick swatch of all of the colors of the palette. Just kind of helps me visually see where I want to go next with this look. I'm not gonna lie, I was staring at it and I was like, oh my god, there's so many brown shades. Which do I choose? So I think the next shade I'm gonna dip into is Terracotta. Again, make sure you really tap these off because it's a lot of fallout when you dip in. And I'm making an attempt to use the new Moda Crease Brush that we just received in the box. So I'm gonna work this color in the outer V and the crease. Just taking this color a little bit all over. I'm thinking today's eye look is gonna be smoky, just cause I'm feeling it today. We're gonna have some fun. Not bad. I'm gonna dip into the palette again though and add a bit more color. Today's look is gonna be quite dramatic, I think. So I'm gonna layer this color up, but if I was going a bit more natural, that would have been perfect then. That was just one swirl into the palette, so I'm all for that. And you know what, while we're here using the shade, I'm just gonna take the same brush and run that same color all the way across on the lower lash line. It's okay if it gets a bit smoked out. I want the color to be a bit exaggerated. So I'm gonna add some other colors on the lower lash line, and I want this to still be able to be seen. Now, let's dunk into another brown shade. I'm now gonna take the shade Ember. And this time I'm taking a brush that wasn't in the brush set we got. I'm using my Sephora Crease Brush. I'm gonna start layering up that brown out here in the outer crease. You know what? I can kind of see it happening right here where a bit of fallout is coming down, so I'm gonna grab my powder and set down a little catching net. I might have grabbed the wrong powder for this. Trying to use the Hydro Mist. It just wants to absorb into the skin. Stop it. There we go. And let's keep going. So still working in Ember. I'm just focusing this on the outer V area, blending it in slightly into that crease. I am gonna jump over though to the detail brush that we got from this kit. I'm gonna run that color along the lower lash line and help get that color packed on down there. I'm really hoping this comes out as I picture in my head. Then let's dunk into Onyx. Let's get really dark here. And I'm actually just gonna use the same brush I was just using, the detail brush. And I'm gonna stick this right here along my upper lash line. Just packing that color down. I'm not being too careful with this at all. I'm just laying it along the upper lash line as if it were a liner. And in case you're wondering why I'm not using the angled brush we got, it's because that one is so fine, it's gonna create such a sharp line. I want this to be a smoked out liner, so this brush is gonna be perfect for what I'm trying to do. And then since this brush has the most amount of black pigment, I'm not gonna take that brush to blend out. I'm gonna switch over to my Sigma, oh, what are you? It's rubbed off so much because I keep using it. It's the E36, it's super tiny and tapered. It's stained green from when I used a Korean eyeshadow. So it doesn't have green on it, I promise. But man, this is the perfect brush. I'm just gonna run this along the edges to help smoke it out a bit more. Man, I'm just really having fun with this look. I love it. Then I'm gonna switch over to the smudger brush we got in the kit and run that all the way across on the lower lash line. And then once more, yep, grabbing that brush and blending it out. And you know what? I think I want to add a bit more of the Ember shade on the lower lash line because I went a little bit more exaggerated than I expected to with the Onyx shade. So I'm gonna add a bit more of Ember on the lower lash line here to help smoke it out even more, and that way you can see the brown. So I'm taking the Luxie 111, just blending that along the lower lash line. Perfect. All right, let's do the other side now. One thing's for sure, don't do this when you need to rush out the door, because this is gonna take a minute. And I'm thinking, since I don't have a shimmery shade to work with in this palette, I'm gonna go in with the shade Sand on a pencil brush and just highlight the brow bone. Now let's go in with some liner. I'm gonna take the Hank and Henry Blickity Black eyeliner and create a wing where we had applied the smoky shadow. Okay, so this black liner was so dark and rich that I think I need to take a bit more Onyx and just blend over it to help smudge things out, because the Onyx shadow started looking a bit charcoal and gray compared to this black liner. So I'm just gonna blend a bit more of that same shade just right over top, just to try to marry the two together a bit more. I was not expecting that. The black liner just stole the show right now. Alright, that definitely helped to pump up that smoky volume that I wanted. Ooh, this is a look right here. This is a look. I am pretty much done, but I do need to throw on some mascara and falsies. I'm gonna use the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara that we previously got in a Boxycharm, and I'm also gonna go in with my Violet Voss lashes that I got on clearance at Target. These are the style Sexy, and I know it. So let me quickly pop this on to complete the look. Sure how I ended up with this very dramatic look today. All of a sudden my alter ego just came alive and was like, make it smoky and make it more, pop on those extra lashes and just go all out today. I don't know what happened. It's one of those days. But this was actually a lot of fun. I haven't done a really dramatic look in a while, so I'm kind of living for it. Although I'm not gonna lie, these brows are not cutting it for this eye look. I'm just gonna put it out there. But let's go ahead and talk about the overall box this month. So we received a grand total of 5 items, bringing in a grand total value of $162.95. That is incredible. Boxycharm definitely has some of the best values out there. For only paying $21 a month, you always get a value over $100. So I love that. As far as this month's box goes, I would have to say my favorite items has to be the Moda 5-piece brush set and the Hank & Henry eyeliner. These ones, hands down, have to be my favorite out of this entire box. I really enjoyed using these ones. I will definitely keep using them. As far as the other 3 items, the Recovery Sleeping Mask, I'm gonna have to keep testing to see the results that I get. I did enjoy it, so it was a good item, but it wasn't something that was like, oh my god, amazing, favorite item. It didn't make it in that slot. If I do see results, who knows, it might make it up a little bit higher. And the same thing goes for the Tarte palette. This one, again, it was a good palette. I did enjoy using it, but it was nothing that had me being like, oh yes, I've been waiting for this. It was just like a good neutral palette. That's really all I can say. I mean, I had fun experimenting and creating this kind of crazy eye look that I haven't done in a while, but I mean, it's a neutral palette. You know what I mean? And lastly, $1 billion brows. Oh man. I feel so bad because I really disliked their brow pencil last time when they had it in the box. And I have to say, unfortunately, I did not like this one either. I mean, it started out okay, but I mean, I just kept looking at my brows and I was like, this is not it. It's not it for me personally. I mean, it's a cool idea. I did enjoy how it gave me a lot of fine hairs in the front of the brow, but for filling in the rest of the brow, since my brows are so sparse, it just didn't cut it. I mean, I'll definitely keep using it just for the front end of it, but I really don't see myself reaching for it aside from that. But that now wraps up my Boxycharm unboxing. I really hope that you guys enjoyed hanging out with me, creating this very crazy and dramatic look. I had so much fun hanging out with you guys. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that little bell button. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!